You can see how it's fenced up to this point. We're gonna have to move that fence pole all the way up here so they can continue to eat down this part of the property on this side. The orchard, we manually weed whacked this entire thing in the summer. We haven't weed whacked in a while, so it's very overgrown. You can only do so many things, guys. Look at this beautiful apple tree though. I love when they're flowering like this. Absolutely gorgeous. This here is a cherry, but it's doing pretty well too. It does have a lot of flowers on it. The orchard's actually looking very nice right now. And there are my girls and their boy. Enjoying the shade under the tree. And all the girls are bred, but it's going to be at least 2 more months before they give birth. So I'm thinking they're gonna give birth probably by the end of June. I typically like to have all my kidding done by May, but I don't think they got bred as early as I wanted them to. I did release the boy with the girls in December, so I was hoping they would give birth in May, but they're not far along enough yet, so we're gonna have to wait at least an extra month. All right, so let's do an update on the meat birds and how they're progressing. They're doing very good. We just moved them to this space yesterday, and already we're gonna move them again later tonight before bed. So they were on that side of the property before, right to where it's all cleared out there. It's only been 24 hours since they've, actually under 24 hours since they've been in this spot, but it's already pretty matted down. But the whole point of putting them in a chicken tractor is that they don't need as much space as a chicken coop, because you are moving the tractor very frequently so that they always have fresh pasture and new space to move around and to eat grass and bugs and things like that. They're super content and happy right now, so having a nap in the shade, and they're coming along really well. Okay, so I'm gonna mix all of the compost. Now this is chicken and goat manure that's been composted for the past at least a year or so. So it's nice and broken down, really good and nutritious. I'm gonna also mix it with some peat moss and some organic potting soil mix. And that's gonna be my mix that I'm gonna plant all of the rest of my vegetables in. I did tell you guys that I got a bunch of grow bags. I'll show you those, and I will also leave a link in the description where I got the grow bags, so you can follow along what I'm doing. I have a full bucket here of that compost. I'm just gonna pour it in with the peat moss. These large bins come in so handy. We use them for so many things around the homestead. Whether it's starting our chicks, we usually keep them in one of these large bins for the first 2 to 3 days that we have them. inside. We use them to mix soil and compost, and to rake up leaves. We store feed and all sorts of other things in here, and they're waterproof. They have a nice snug lid. I absolutely love these bins. They come in so handy. I'll leave a link in the description to something similar from buying them from Amazon, but you could usually find these at local big box stores. They usually sell these. So if you can purchase one of these giant bins, it really does come in handy, especially doing things like this. Last thing I'm gonna do in here is add a little bit of blood meal, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this lawn and garden fertilizer. It's an 845. I'm gonna add about a cup of this and a couple handfuls of my blood meal. It's one of my favorite fertilizers, and I just really think it enhances the health of the soil, and it really does improve the health of my vegetables. This one is great also for flowers. So when I plant my flower garden, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow, I'm going to be digging out an entire space in my front yard for my flower garden. I'll be fertilizing with some of this organic fertilizer. But for today, I'm going to put in about a couple handfuls into my potting soil mix here. So about 3 to 4 good handfuls. And then my organic blood meal. This one is 800. I'm going to put in quite a bit. About 5 or 6 handfuls, and thoroughly mix it. I actually just heard my neighbors yelling down the hill because the river's down there, and they just caught a massive trout. So I'm a little jelly. Probably gonna make Jesse and Noah come down the hill with me to go fishing, see if we can catch one too. What I am gonna do today is plant my sweet potatoes in this big pink pot. So I'm just gonna fill it up. That's enough. I'm gonna put a lid on this, and I can continue to fill all of my grow bags. I can pour this into my garden, raised beds, whatever you're planting. This is a really, really good soil mix. All right, so I have my container here, and this is the pot I planted the sweet potatoes in about a month ago now, and they have to come out. It's time to plant these in a bigger container. But I planted them in here to keep these slips from dying or overgrowing too much in the water. So I have quite a few slips here, and see how awesome they look. Let's do 3 slips. These sweet potatoes are planted. They just need a good drink of water. I'm gonna pop this in the greenhouse, and then we have another 4 here, so I'm gonna do 1 more container, and we'll be all done with our sweet potatoes. How big these roots are. Very nice root system. Cover them all the way. Okay, so these are the grow bags I purchased online. I will leave a link in the description box below, so if you're interested in purchasing these, I bought this exact one from Amazon. There's a 12 pack in here, and there are some really large bags in here, and I can't wait to get growing in them. I'm going to be planting my tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, eggplants, and all of my main summer crops in here. I do have a lot of them already started and ready to be transplanted, but my garden space out there in my main garden is just not ready yet. I have a bit of weeding to do before I put the bags in there, so I'm not going to fill them with my plants yet until I'm ready to actually put them in their permanent spot, because once these bags are full and wet, they do become quite heavy. They do have handles, but still I don't want to carry like a 40-pound bag all the way across the yard multiple times for multiple bags. So I'm gonna wait till I get my garden up and ready before I fill these with my plants and soil. But I want to show you what they look like. So you can see just how big this bag is. This is a huge grow bag. You can grow just about anything in here. You could most likely even grow a fruit tree in here because it's huge. It has 2 handles on the side, so it makes for easy transporting, but remember, once it's full and the soil gets wet, it's very heavy, so you will need a couple people to help you move this. But I love the fact that it's actually movable, and it does have some pretty sturdy handles. The material itself is also really good. It's porous, so it does let water and air circulate through. The water will pass through and seep through eventually once it's wet enough, so it won't hold any standing water or anything like that. And they're a very substantial size, so I can't wait to see what I can grow in this. I'm thinking one of these big ones will be all flowers because I want to have just a beautiful flower arrangement in the garden. And you can see when you're done with them, if you don't want to keep these outside, you can just wash them off. Literally, they're machine washable too, which is fantastic. And you can just put them back in a safe spot. I really like these, and I think we're gonna have a very successful season with these grow bags. Instead of trying to build an entire raised bed, these bad boys are gonna come in really handy. Okay guys, well that is all I'm gonna do for now until later on today. Thank you for planting sweet potatoes with me, checking on the chicks, collecting compost, and getting everything ready for the summer season. I'm super excited. What is your favorite part about spring and the beginning of the growing season? Mine is literally just the weather and being able to be out here in my t-shirt and nothing else, because we get cold winters here and we have to be bundled up most of the year. So just being in regular clothes for a few months is awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the video, share it if you find it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay peaceful.